temporarily from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, March 19th, 2016. Silver is trading at $15.81 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,255 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $413. Antiwar.com reports with the last holdout, Cyprus, signing off. Turkey and the European Union have agreed to a broad refugee swapping deal designed to prevent the people currently trying to get to Europe from remaining there by trading them for refugees already in Turkey. Under the deal, the European Union agrees to take one Syrian refugee from Turkey in trade for every Syrian refugee they send to Turkey who arrives in Greece, with the idea being that it will keep people from trying to get to Greece since it's a one-way ticket to Turkey. German Chancellor Angela Merkel was the main advocate for the deal, but conceded that there were going to be big legal challenges to the plan, with Turkey's atrocious human rights record likely a major stumbling block for the plan. The deal also includes more money for Turkey and an agreement to revive Turkey's long-stalled European Union membership bid, which is likely to be wildly controversial at a time when the Erdogan government is shutting down private media and threatening to arrest members of parliament as terrorists for criticizing their policies.
You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com.
UPI reports President Barack Obama will travel to Cuba on Sunday, the first time since Calvin Coolidge that a U.S. president has set foot on the island. Administration officials who briefed the press on details of the trip said they view it as an opportunity to make the normalization of diplomatic relations with the communist nation irreversible in the face of criticism from Republicans who have pressed to keep an economic embargo against Cuba on the books. The three-day trip to Cuba, which will be followed by a trip to Argentina, will include a bilateral meeting between Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro. Deputy National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes, who has been deeply involved in the administration's Cuba policy shift, said Obama is looking forward to a frank discussion with Castro about ways the two nations can work together, but also what differences remain after decades of isolation. Rhodes said Obama will deliver a speech to the Cuban people that will be broadcast on state-run television on Monday. Prior to delivering the speech, Obama will meet with members of Cuba's civil society, a meeting that will include prominent political dissidents and human rights activists, some of whom have been jailed by the Castro regime in the past for speaking out. Monday night, the Obamas will be the guest of honor at a state dinner hosted by Castro at the presidential palace in Havana. And before departing on Tuesday, Obama will share in one of the closest cultural ties between the Cubans and the Americans, a baseball game. Major League Baseball's Tampa Bay Rays will play an exhibition game against the Cuban national team in Havana, which the president and his family will attend.
For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports the first month of taxable commercial sales of recreational cannabis in Oregon generated nearly $3.5 million in tax revenues, far exceeding projections, according to the State Department of Revenue. Oregon's cannabis tax receipts from January also surpassed the first month tallies from recreational cannabis sales in Colorado and Washington state, the first two states to legalize general commercial distribution of cannabis for adults. In Colorado, $2.9 million in taxes were collected when recreational cannabis sales launched there in January 2014, a sum that included revenue from both recreational and medicinal cannabis purchases. Washington's recreational cannabis industry, which started slow with just 18 stores licensed to sell cannabis, yielded $1 million in tax revenue when it debuted in August 2014. By comparison, Oregon's 300 licensed cannabis retailers sold $13.9 million worth of cannabis in January, generating $3.48 million in taxes. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.